Members of the Board of Education, parents, Mr. Paschke, Mr. Tonelli, Mr. Ziliox, honored guests, and fellow graduates. It is a pleasure for me to be able to give this address. Because of a number on my transcript that doesn't say all that much about who I am, I have been given the opportunity to make all of you listen to me for 5 minutes. And small though our town may be, it's not every day that a 17-year-old is handed a stage like this to speak on. And so I feel that I would be remiss if I did not take advantage of it. We stand here after 12 years, getting ready to go out into the wider world, and we're hearing a lot of proclamations from the adults around us like, "You'll do great things. We're so excited to see where you end up. You'll change the world." You all know what I'm talking about. And of course, I'm very grateful that they believe in us. But I would like to ask in return, what exactly is expected of us when they say, "You'll change the world"? What sort of world are we being handed? A world where atmospheric carbon dioxide levels are higher than they've ever been recorded, where Texas can apparently freeze over, and where record-setting heat wave is rapidly becoming a common phrase in the news. We are being handed a world that will become uninhabitable if something does not change soon. Climate change is going to be this generation's problem. We didn't create it, we were just born into it, but it seems like we are going to have to be the ones to fix it. Consistently, the strongest voices calling for climate action are people our age. We are the ones who will have to deal with the consequences of the actions and non-actions that politicians and CEOs have been taking for decades before we were even a thought in our parents' minds. Climate change shouldn't be our problem to solve, but it is. And it's one of the very few things that we actually cannot procrastinate. We don't have the option of ignoring it because we and our children are going to be the ones who deal with its repercussions if nothing changes. To us, climate change is not some abstract threat looming far in the distance. It's very real. The oceans are rising. The ice is melting. The West is drying up. So classmates, if you want to have a future, you need to care about this too. Parents, if you care about your children's future, you need to care about this too. Teachers and administrators, if you care about your students' future, you need to care about this too. And to everyone listening, no matter what your opinion is on anything else, no matter where you fall on the political spectrum, no matter what sort of future you'd like to see, if we don't do something about climate change now, you won't have a planet on which to stand and debate any of those other issues. You won't have a future to shape. So what can we do about it? Well, first of all, we have elected representatives for a reason. Write to them. Email Tom Reed and whoever takes his place next year. Email Kirsten Gillibrand and Chuck Schumer, or George Borrello, or Andy Goodell, or any of their counterparts in wherever you're off to if you're leaving the area. Tell them that you care about climate change, that you understand its seriousness, and you want to see legislation that addresses it as the crisis it is immediately. It doesn't matter whether you agree with their politics or not, because it is quite literally in their job description to listen to us. Now, one email from one person probably won't change their mind or their vote, but hundreds or thousands of such emails might. And if they don't listen, we can't always vote them out and elect people who will. Secondly, we can each try our best to live sustainably. Now, of course, that alone will not solve climate change, and we should not guilt ourselves into thinking that it will. But it certainly doesn't hurt, and more importantly, it's a way of showing, not just telling those in power, that we care about sustainability and about protecting the world we live in. Specifically, one of the most powerful things we can do is putting our money where our mouths are. Not buying bottled water or fast fashion, eating local, biking or walking rather than driving when it's reasonable to do so, and in general, trying to find sustainable alternatives. If you are a small business owner and have the means, try investing in biodegradable packaging. If you are a restaurant owner, compost your compostable waste. If you are able to switch even partially to solar energy, do so. Donate to environmental organizations if you can. Where we choose to put our money and where we choose not to is just as important as who we vote for. Oh, and don't litter. So, to my fellow graduates, they're right. We will change the world because the only alternative is to let it die. We can and will clean up this mess. It's a huge task that maybe shouldn't be ours, but it is ours now, and we have to step up. This is our crucible. and I, for one, believe that we're up to it. Class of 2021, we've done our waiting. It's our world now, so let's get out there and fix it.